Okay, three, two, one, and action. Hello, how are you? I'm your host, Nick, back with the Larger Than Life podcast where you can become larger than life just by listening. Today, we've got a short show. Yep, only two segments. Count them, two segments today. Not every episode has to be three or four segments, you know. Sometimes I like to have shorter episodes when I just have less to say on a certain day or when I just want to put out more episodes for all of you listeners out there. Sometimes people just want to listen to a 20-minute podcast or whatever instead of a 50-minute podcast or whatever. So I figured it'd be probably a nice change just for an episode or two. Um, there's no set length on how many subjects I'm doing per episode. There's no set amount of time either. As long as it's not like a 10-minute podcast, because why would I? That's nothing. That's basically one segment, and I'm never gonna do a one segment podcast. But I'm not gonna ever do like an 8 segment podcast or anything crazy. So yeah, just a short episode today. We're gonna be talking about how you should never wait to apologize, and also modern music sucks. It is awful. We'll get into that, but before we do, just a little life story. So, um, you know, on Friday of, oh my God, okay, on Friday of last week, uh, I just, mm, this sucked. So I was supposed to get my, I was supposed to go take my permit test, right? Because I can't drive yet, and oh my God, at the very last minute, my mom's like, I can't take you there, and I was like, what? Why? What happened? And she's like, your sister, her stomach hurts. I have to pick her up from school. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. That sucks big time. I hate that. It's the worst. It's really stupid. The timing is awful. But, I decided to be flexible and say, you know what? Next Wednesday, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it next Wednesday. Should be good then. I don't really have anything going on that day, so it's perfect. Ah, man, I really wish I could have taken it today. I did some extra studying, or, not today, but like on that day. It's just, ah, at least I'll have extra time to study. It's whatever. But it's not like something that bothers me too much. It's just kind of another life lesson, be flexible, be willing to adjust. Very important things in life. But that is not going to be discussed on today's show. Maybe in a future episode, we'll get into it more. But for today, I'd like to start us off with how you should never wait to apologize to someone. And I don't mean just all the time, I specifically mean when you did something wrong. Not like if it's like, oh, whoops, I accidentally said something that maybe I didn't realize I said, oops, I'm sorry for being weird. Like, don't, not like that. But I specifically mean when you did something to hurt someone else, intentional or not, and you don't apologize immediately, that hurts. It hurts big time. I've been guilty of it because I've learned that time does not solve a lot of issues. And it really doesn't. Waiting for an issue to blow over is not going to do anything except make it worse. The blood's going to continue to boil, and you're just going to be wasting time trying to let the problem dissipate on its own. But it's not like that. I was talking to my friend the other day when I was coming up with the ideas for this podcast, and I told her if I shot you in the arm and I didn't and you didn't put band-aid on, or no, if I didn't put band-aid on your arm, then your arm's just gonna bleed out and you're gonna be really hurt. You're gonna be way worse off than if I immediately apologized, grabbed the band-aid, and tried to help her. That's the sort of thing. I didn't actually shoot anyone in the arm, just clarifying that. But the point is, it's much easier to just apologize now, fix the problem, and move on, rather than just say, "Oh, screw it, I'm gonna wait, try and hope that this problem can blow over," and then it just ends up being way worse, way more toxic. God, it's really bad. It sucks. It generally happens when you feel like you're not in the wrong for something. Like if you did something and you don't think it's worth an apology and you just don't do anything about it, but the other side thinks that you owe them an apology, that's when it gets toxic. Let me remember the in the second episode, I talked about how I was in this group chat with a few friends that we had a falling out. Um, the reason things got so toxic between us, I, along with all the other things I mentioned in that episode, I think things also went down because I didn't apologize for what I did. I didn't apologize for hurting them. And I wasn't trying to hurt them, obviously, but, and because I didn't know it, I didn't think I was in the wrong. I really thought like I didn't owe them an apology. I just thought time would let the situation heal. They would forgive and forget, move on, that sort of thing. But I was sorely mistaken and reminded that maybe I really should have apologized. And when I finally came up with a cohesive, coherent, detailed, thick apology, it didn't work. I mean, it sort of did. They like were like, "Thanks for apologizing," but like at that point, the friendship between me and the other people in that chat had been deteriorated because I didn't say it earlier. I could have saved that friendship if I just apologized to them and realized that my actions affected them. So, really, the person who was the most in the wrong was myself. I know in the last episode, I almost made it sound like I was playing victim. I really wasn't. I wasn't making any excuse. Like, I kind of was at the time, but I can't say that now. I mean, I can't really make any excuses to defend myself in that situation. But what I can do is not make up, but make reasons for why I can learn from it and never do it again. Um, Apologizing right away rather than blowing it over is so important because, again, that made a difference between me potentially repairing my friendship with these people and then it all just going down to shit. It really sucked. I just, it was a bad situation, really ugly. I didn't like how it turned out, and I only got one person to blame, and that's myself. I take full ownership for my mistakes. It really hurt, because it's just one of those things that if I just, if I had these life lessons ingrained in my head at the time, oh my God, this, I would have potentially been able to save that friendship, and I would probably be better off socially than I am right now. So it's really just something to think about. Of course, you can't undo what you did to someone. No matter how good your apology is, they'll always feel the pain. But it's better to put a band aid on that pain than to just say, screw it. The pain, the wound will heal itself. No, it won't. No, it won't. Go get the first aid kit and fix that wound. It's super important that you act on that apology right away, that you get it out, think it through, let them know that you admit to your wrong. Now, if you're stubborn, let's just say you're super stubborn, you're like, no, I was right. There is no reason for me to apologize. Then at least explain to them that, oh, maybe I really don't need to apologize to you. But if they really like let you know how hurt they were by whatever you did to them, then maybe even if you don't necessarily agree with it, you should give them an apology for no other reason than to at the very least make sure the situation doesn't get any worse. Like an apology is literally the definition of a band-aid. Like it's basically the same thing. Um, that's why I feel like that analogy I made was accurate because it really is just putting a band-aid on a bullet wound, but sometimes the bullet wound is tiny and the band-aid's big enough and sometimes it works, but it's never quite the same ever again, even though your apology might be damn good. So it's just really interesting, and I must say I'm pretty grateful for that experience, despite me feeling pretty bad about it. Now, obviously, not at the time. which is why I even got into that hole. But it's a life lesson, I learned from it. I I told them, I made some mistakes. I really wish I could have. I really wish I had it in me to realize what the issue was and apologize to them sooner. So they were still like, oh, you probably should have apologized to us sooner. We were really hurt by what you did, but at least they understand that I learned from it. At least I hope they do. So yeah, the big life lesson here is if you wait to apologize on something, it's your apology is going to be way less effective for one, and it's not going to make a difference. That's why when you apologize early, at the very least, it can make things not get worse. Because I don't remember the last time I apologized to someone and then they said, no, screw you. Your apology sucked. Now I hate you even more. Like, what? That doesn't happen, just for your information. So I don't really know what else to say about this subject. It was something I kind of wanted to get off. I probably should have said it in the second episode, but it's fine that I'm saying it here because I still feel like I'm I'm still talking about it, right? It's only one episode later. It's not like I'm on episode 80 and I'm like, oh yeah, remember episode 2? So, I just feel like this is one of those subjects that in my case I needed to get it out on an episode like this, but that's beside the point. I really think that this subject applies to anything. Like it's not like one of these important life skills, but it's something you need to remember whenever you get yourself into one of these pickles where in your head you're thinking, oh my God, if I wait it out, the problem will solve itself. Because no, it will not. Now, there are some problems that can be solved with time, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. So, good luck with that. If you're stubborn, refuse to apologize, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to get forgiveness easily. So, that's why you got to just get it out, apologize to people, patch up that bullet wound, do whatever you got to do. So, yep, that is that. Oh man, just trying to get myself to transition into this next subject. Oh man, modern music. I hate modern music so much. My uncle, who I think he watches this show. I know he watched episode 1. If you're listening right now, you will probably relate to everything, almost everything, if not everything I'm about to say on this subject. Um, this is something I've had an issue with for years, like for a long time. Modern music has lost every sense of creativity, passion, and, just everything good about it. Like, everything good about music is stuff that, like, didn't come out recently, if that makes any sense. And I'm not trying to like make some sort of life analogy out of modern music and comparing it to the old music. This is just a fun for me, kind of segment to put out because just to share my thoughts because I know there are people out there who can totally relate to this. Yeah, modern music is garbage. I don't mean just like one genre either. I think everything collectively has gotten worse. Um, I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is, but it's definitely due to meme culture. Not like I'm talking about modern memes. Like I know certain things are popular. I don't like. I would say I kind of live under a rock, so I don't really know what's the popular thing unless someone else tells me. But all I know is modern music I think got worse because things that suck that got popular kind of influenced it, if you will. I know rap culture. Oh my God. Modern rap versus like 90s rap. I listened to a few 90s rap songs and I'm like, I don't like rap as a whole, but these songs aren't that bad, right? And then I listened to like 15 seconds of a modern rap song and I couldn't listen to any more of that song because it was awful. I don't even remember the name of it. That's another thing. music, like the names of the songs got worse along with the music itself. Like they it's all like Lil this or random word that, and oh my god. It's really frustrating, but at the same time, I kind of love hating on modern music. Like sometimes with my friends, we look up like just this random song with terrible lyrics, and I like to like just kind of make fun of them. I love making fun of modern music with my friends. It's just one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to make fun of for sure. And I I think the number one reason why modern music has declined is mostly because uh well, artists just they realize that in order to make a lot of money, they don't have to try anymore. All they really have to do is just spit into a microphone or whatever and say like pretty much gibberish, and they can get away with it. It's crazy. Like I don't want to be that kind of guy, but I actually put legitimate effort into my YouTube videos and don't get any recognition from it. But then there's this random ass singer who has like 33 million views in one day, and he puts like no effort into his music at all. It kind of pisses me off. I'm not trying to compare myself to like content creators who get more recognition than I do. That's not what it is. It mostly just alludes to the fact that people don't have to try anymore to please other people. Like especially with modern music. It just has like no rhythm, no beat, no lyrics. I mean, good God. They literally just mumble into the microphone. Oh man. And the style of the songs are all just kind of the same, depressing, uh, purposely like throwing in really dumb like how do I describe it? Like really dumb lyrics talking about things that don't even make any sense and just really really stupid things. Like the I don't know. It's I know that art is just one of those things that like over time during every generation there's a lot of people that probably thought it was super weird. And this is no exception, but like at least with art forms back in like the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, blah, 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 early 2000s, even. Like, at least people put in effort and actually had, a sense of creativity and a sense of imagination and effort and thought and passion into what they do in the song industry, especially. But now I just don't see it. I don't see any of it. And it really kind of disappoints me, but at the same time, it's super easy to make fun of. So there's that. I take great enjoyment in pissing on modern music. It's great, unlike the music. And this brings me to another point: the dreaded app. The app, one of the apps I hate more than any other in history. TikTok is definitely responsible for the decline of modern music. I mean, think of how many TikTok song rapper people, content creators, let's just go with that. Think about how many TikTok content creators get famous from doing nothing. Like I've had random people in my school be like, "Hey, look at this TikTok," and they show me like a clip of a guy just yelling at a frog or something. I'm like, how does that have so many views and likes? And why do people like this? And I get that people can like whatever they want, but I have this saying, it's not my motto in life, but like I've kind of used it whenever I get into a disagreement with someone. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, even if they're wrong. And I know that sounds very close minded of me, but it's mostly just me saying, hey, if you like garbage, go ahead, like garbage, but I'm not going to like the garbage with you. And that's especially true with modern music. But people these days don't have the common decency to wear fucking headphones. I can't tell you the amount of times in my class that there's like a kid that blasts random TikToks in the middle of class for no reason. And it's not like he's doing it to like piss off the teacher or the other classmates. He's just doing it because he doesn't like have the common decency to put in his headphones. Like if you're gonna watch TikToks in class, which don't do that because it's school. School matters. As much as the education system is flawed, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try and pay attention in school. Like if you're like, it's a whole thing. I don't get it. It's really annoying because I can't tell you the amount of times I've been in friend groups or hung out with friends where all they do is just go on TikTok or even worse, listen to a bunch of modern music, and I have to literally plug my ears because the songs are god awful. Like, not only are they god awful, they hurt my ears. They're just really bad. They're a cacophony of crap. That's the perfect way to describe modern music. A cacophony of crap. Yeah, I like that. It might sound like I'm ranting here, and I kind of am, but it's a passionate rant. And again, remember, I have a lot of fun hating on modern music. And I know it's technically not healthy to hate on something for fun, but sometimes you just gotta complain about something and let it all out. And every now and then, that's what I have to do with modern music. It's my coping mechanism with running into random people and even some of my friends sometimes who are just like crazy about all this like TikTok and want to share it with me, which I keep telling them no, I just please don't do that. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that it's not going down a great path. I don't like modern music at all. It's awful. No creativity, no art style. No one has the common decency to just keep it to themselves. And people don't really understand. Like, people have lost their taste in music. I have a few friends who have good taste in music, but I, outside of them and a few other people I know, it's like almost everyone just likes all the crap they find on TikTok and all these random songs about, I, I don't know, drugs, nudity, some other crap I don't care to mention. It Modern songs, like, I didn't even touch on this part yet. They just, not only are the lyrics bad, the subjects of which they're singing about are like really out there. And I get that it's totally okay to sing about that, about drugs, nudity, whatever. But like the way they sing about it doesn't even make any sense, and you can't even tell what they're singing about. And it, it's a whole thing. Modern music has definitely influenced white people to act like black people, which it's not racist at all. It's totally okay to do that. It's just really annoying. That's all I gotta say. Like, if white people are acting like black people to discriminate against them to make them feel bad, then obviously that's not okay. Don't do that. That's you're not gonna be perceived well like that. But if white people act like black people and take a lot of influence from black culture just because they do, that's totally okay. But then they try and spread it to me and try and get me into it, and it doesn't click with me, right? Rap culture and all that doesn't click with me at all. And I think modern music and its obnoxiousness has just affected people to make them want to like share it with other people. Unfortunately, it's infectious. And I get that I always send my friends clips I find funny on YouTube, stuff I make, I send it to them all the time. And if any of my friends are listening on the podcast right now, and if you want me to stop doing that, then I can. I totally can. It's just having that open line of communication. Like, I probably should. My takeaway for this is I probably should, tell these people, hey, I don't care about your music. I know you do, I just don't want to hear it. And if I can say that to them in a really nice way, but and also an assertive way, then maybe they'll get it. Maybe people will stop trying to show me random TikToks and blasting modern music in the classroom. And if they don't, I don't care. It's their problem. It's just one of those things. I mean, I get it. I can be a little annoying about my content, like, here's my content, please watch it. Like, but that's because I'm really passionate about it. I'm not trying to separate myself from people who do that also with music and TikToks or whatever. I totally get that side of it, but I think what I could do is I could just probably ask my friends, or again, if any of you friends of mine who I always send content to are watching this, please leave in the comments if you're okay with it, if you want me to stop, or you can just tell me in person, you know. I can stop doing it if you find it annoying, or if you don't care, then that's cool. I'll just keep sending it even if you don't want to see it. Or maybe I shouldn't do that if you get annoyed with it, you know. It's that sort of thing. We'll figure it out. Um Man, that's just all I wanted to say about modern music. A bit of a rant, but I had a lot to get off my chest on this one. And again, message to my friends. If you want me to stop, like, doing that thing where I just send content to you, then totally feel free to tell me directly, bluntly. Just spit it out at me. I want to hear it. So I know this is a very how do I say it, congested subject. I was kind of rambling a little bit, but hey, that's what podcasts are for, rambling, getting your thoughts out. Trying to entertain the audience is also a part of it, but not every episode has to be all introspective and deep. This is one of my more, laid back, just want to spit out the facts sort of episode. And I really enjoyed it. I could do more episodes like these if that is okay with you guys. I don't want to always be like the freaking Jesus on Mount Olympus or whatever. It doesn't even make any sense. I'm not religious, but I I just feel like sometimes I got to mix it up a little with the episode. So just introducing some of my thoughts about life, if that's okay with you guys, and even if it isn't, I'll still do it. I just want to hear your feedback on it. And that brings me to the end of this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of only two topics today. I know we are, I mean, we're almost 30 minutes into recording, but, you know, two topics isn't that much. Still, though, I really enjoyed this episode. Like, I really did. It's something I'm super passionate about, especially the second thing, hating on modern music is, I wouldn't consider it a passion, but definitely something I needed to do. And the first topic, very important stuff. Um, yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. This was episode 3, and I hope you become larger than life just by listening to this. Bam, I am out.